Hey there everybody, in this video I'm going to answer one of the most frequently made comments, and that is, why not just ride a hardtail on your gravel rides, Mr. Supple Online Bike Person? Well, I've got my reasons. I have them out here. I'm filming outside. Hopefully no one starts mowing their lawn. So let's get into it. So first things first, I have to make some disclaimers. Everyone rides gravel differently. My gravel may look different from your gravel. And if your gravel requires a mountain bike for whatever reasons, then good on you. So all that said, reason number one is, for the most part, our gravel rides here in Missoula, hardtail mountain bike is just overkill. While yes, all the squishiness and suspension would be awesome for a very small percentage of the ride, to drag it along with you for the entire ride is just too much. For me, when I go on a gravel ride, it's essentially a gravel road ride. There's a fair amount of pavement, and then the gravel road, which is a wide forest road or access road. Yes, these roads get chunky, but they're not so tore up that it requires front suspension or these big tires. So reason number one, overkill. Reason number two for me is the handlebars. While these handlebars are great for mountain biking, I find that on a gravel road ride, I'm a little too wide in profile, a little bit too upright, and I really miss the ability to move my hands around. These hands have edited over 1,000 videos for this YouTube channel, and I'm developing a little bit of a carpal tunnel, which I'm trying to fix. And the mountain bike just doesn't give me enough flexibility to keep my hands, wrists, and elbow happy. So while some people can ride hours on end on a flat bar or a slightly tilted alt bar like this one, for long gravel rides, I really do need drop bars. Reason number three, and this is going to sound counterintuitive because I talk about the Supple life so often, is the suspension fork. While it's nice to have, actually I think essential to have on some really rough trails, for me it feels like a little bit more of a liability on the gravel road rides that I do. First off, they tend to be on the heavy side, and there's a lot of climbing here in Missoula, and I want to climb as efficiently as possible. While I'm not going out for any KOMs or anything like that, I do appreciate all the little things that make my riding easier. And speaking of efficiency, although many front suspension forks do have a lockout, they don't ever really completely lock it out. I know on this one, when I lock it out, there's still some pedal bob, and that kind of robs whatever wattage I have going up that climb. Again, it's definitely nice when going mountain biking, but I find for me, when I run a 650B by 50mm tire, it provides enough suspension. Sure, a front suspension fork would be awesome on the chunky descents, but for the rest of the ride, the paved rides, all the climbing, it's more of a liability than an asset. And the final reason is weight. I know I'm all about the party pace. Someone's going to mention that. But just because I'm not a competitive cyclist doesn't mean I can't appreciate things like having a lightish bike, especially when climbing. On my scales, this bike weighs in at about 30 pounds. My Crust and Rivendell, in comparison, weigh about 5 to 6 pounds less. And when you add all those things up, like the handlebar, the lack of front suspension, the weight savings, the more efficient ride for road and gravel road riding, that's pretty much why I prefer a gravel bike rather than a hardtail. And I know someone's already typing, well, you have the wrong kind of mountain bike, you should get a carbon fiber cross-country bike. And to me, that seems a little silly to get a whole separate mountain bike to do the tasks that a gravel bike is already doing. Again, if you like to ride gravel events, gravel roads on your hardtail mountain bike, then that's awesome. But many people have asked why I prefer to use a gravel bike rather than a hardtail mountain bike. And these are my reasons, aside from being a hipster, apparently, that's been fooled by all the marketing of the bike industry. But what do you guys think? Are you hardtail mountain bike aficionados on the grab, or do you prefer a gravel bike, and what are your reasons, pros and cons? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure you guys are typing away already. And if you like this content, consider supporting the channel. Join us on Patreon or stop by the gift shop, pick up some stickers and patches, all that good stuff. And as always, keep the supple side down.